In this video, I'm going to show you why you are clinging to certain attachments in life, and by attaching to these things, not only are you depleting yourself of energy, you're also driving those things that you're trying to attain away from you. As human beings, we are innately designed to always move towards pleasure and move away from pain. Now, how do we actually do this? Well, we can break it down into tiny little segments, but basically humans generally are gravitating towards things externally that we believe is actually going to bring us more pleasure, and often they do momentarily. But what happens is that by clinging to things externally, we're actually suffering internally. So often we're attached to things like money, we're attached to relationships, we're attached to material possessions, we're also attached to particular outcomes or outcomes of how we are, probably physically as well. So, how we look to everyone else and whether we're overweight or whether we're too big or too slow, whatever it is. So I really just wanted to illustrate breaking down 4 of the basic things that humans actually desire. We'll break them down, and I'll also tell you how these external graspings or clinging to certain attachments are actually reducing all of your energy. So we'll start off with money, because money is quite a big one. And look, this could be in the form of your house, it could be investment properties, it could be commodities, shares, it could be business, for example. So whatever it is, basically at some point you have actually decided that money is the one thing that's going to fulfill something that's a void within yourself. So this is a great example in my case. So for much of my adult life, I was chasing money for some reason, and I couldn't work out why. And so now I understand that it all was part of programming and conditioning that happened as I was a child. So as we're in school, we're told, well, you need to get good grades so that you can then, do well in school and be able to get into university. Because if you go to university, then you have a chance of getting a really good job that's going to bring in a good income, that's later down the track going to bring you success and ultimate happiness. So some people buy into that narrative and some don't buy into it as much, but I bought into it quite strongly, and there were some other things that were reinforced as well down the track. But as a result of that, all of my energy was then moved towards money. And so I was putting a lot of my intentions and my thought processes and my focus towards money, and there was other areas of my life that was suffering. So maybe how present I am with the children, how much I'm actually spending time with the people that I love, and so on and so forth, because I'm also giving time to that as well. So the other area is relationships. So I just wanted to briefly touch on relationships and how some people really cling to the idea or the concept or their perception that by attaining or actually having a partner that is going to fulfill all of their constructs of what a great partner would be, by having that, then I'll feel whole and complete. Now, this is actually portrayed all through Hollywood as well, is that, the whole "you complete me" scenario. So again, by having a relationship with somebody else, you're actually perceiving that once I have that, then I will be fulfilled and happy. So as you'll see with these themes and these topics that I'm covering, all of them lead to the one thing, the one statement, and that is that you believe that you are not enough. And as harsh as that sounds, it's the truth. It is 100% the truth. Of course, we can get practical and say, well, I need to have some money because I need to feed my family, and of course the practicalities, but I'm talking about that real attachment, that real grasping to that concept that you think that, oh, if I work for the next 30 years, then I'm going to get this, or if I have this type of partner, then I'm going to feel this way. Another area that humans really cling to is possessions, and often they're material possessions. So we've all seen it. We've seen people that, you know, want to have the most amazing kitchen or the most incredible outdoor entertaining area, so when their guests come over they can sort of show them off, or they might have a massive boat or whatever. Now, it's okay to have those things, but I'm talking about being really attached to these things to the point where you need to have them in order to feel fulfilled. Another area is outcomes. Okay, so we're always looking towards a particular outcome or a situation in order to bring fulfillment or wholeness within ourselves. So this could be just a holiday, it could be retirement, but it also could be your own personal image. So if you feel that you're not at your ideal weight, or you know, maybe you're as a guy you're not big enough, then, you know, if you're thinking that way, then you're always going to be sort of grasping at this concept that if only I do some more weights, and when I get to this level, or if I bring my weight down to this point, then I'll feel like I'm accepted within society or my community or my family or my friends or whatever it is. So I just wanted to cover those 4 fundamental areas that often human beings cling to. And so how do you actually gain energy or regain energy from detaching from these? Well, this is the big question. So what actually happens when you're in a vibrational state or an energy of wanting or desiring? Well, what happens is that you're actually communicating to your subconscious mind that you are devoid of that thing, whatever it is. So you're sending a message to your subconscious mind to say, I do not have that thing. And how the subconscious works is it reinforces that situation again. So if you feel like you're lacking money and you really want it, then you're in essentially a vibrational energy of lack. So then you're not going to attain that thing, because your subconscious will make you self-sabotage to get to the point of not having money. So how do we reverse this? How do we reverse it? Well, the key is it's not an easy one, but it is kind of simple. So in essence, you need to be able to feel whole and complete internally. All right. So, you know, that's a big concept in itself, but essentially you need to sort of get to the core of your very being and understand who you are internally as a person, as opposed to getting ideas and beliefs from other people who are telling you that, oh, but once you get to a net worth of $2 million, then you'll be free. Oh, when you have this incredibly attractive partner, oh, life is going to be grand. Once you are able to travel around Europe for an entire year, could you just imagine that freedom that's going to give you, and that sort of, you know, that fulfillment that you're going to get from that? So of course you're going to get those fleeting moments of it. I'm not denying that. But what I am saying is that every time we're grasping at these things, we're moving our energy away from our central core being of ourselves. So how do you do it? How do you get around it? Well, the trick is to start to kind of get to know yourself a little bit more. And in order to do that, you need to sit still. So you need to slow down. And the best way to do this is just to slot in an element of meditation within your day. And I know I've said this in previous videos, but it only really needs to be 15 minutes per day just to get yourself started, and you can start to see the effects of that over a week or two. You'll already start to see that. So you'll start to understand that you already have a lot of the internal wholeness that you're kind of searching for from these external things. So start with a 15-minute practice of meditation. If you can, do 2 sessions. So 1 in the morning and 1 at night is ideal, but whenever you can slot it in, all right? Now, the second element that I really wanted to drum home is I wanted to just talk about gratitude and the practice of gratitude, because this is probably one of the most powerful things you can ever undertake. So gratitude is basically the ultimate state of receivership. So when you are in a wanting state, so when you're looking for that thing externally, as I said, you are saying to yourself, I do not have it, so I'm devoid of that item or that outcome or whatever it is. So if you put yourself in a state of gratitude, what you're actually cultivating is a feeling or an emotion inside that you already have everything that you need. So you already have the money, you already have the possessions, the outcomes, whatever it is. So what that actually does is that sends a signal straight up to the subconscious to say that I don't have any resistance to this thing. So what happens? Not only do you regain your energy, you're also sending a signal to the subconscious, which then starts to work in your external reality to actually bring these things to you, because there's no resistance, right? So you've lost that resistance. You don't care so much about it. Of course, for me, I still like the thought of having money coming to me. There's nothing wrong with that. But I approach it with a curiosity now as opposed to a neediness. I hope you're getting my drift. I don't know if I'm rambling on too much, but I'm going to cut it off pretty shortly. Now, in terms of just finalizing the gratitude process, the best thing to do on the end of your 15-minute meditation is just to sit for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and be grateful for the things that you do have in your life. And that is how you cultivate it. It takes time. All right, I'm not going to say that it happens overnight, but you need to learn how to build up that emotional state where you're feeling like you have everything already. And when you actually feel that, it amazingly little things start to happen, because your subconscious now doesn't have those barriers it used to have, starts to bring them into your life. So do that, start a 15-minute meditation, add on 2 minutes of gratitude. I hope you got something out of that, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.